There's a need for transformation that cannot be overlooked. There are no easy solutions. We must push forward. We're living in an intense, vibrant period of history, and it's becoming increasingly urgent to plan our country's future. It will take creativity, flexibility, and technological innovation. We need speed and expertise to manage this change. At this moment, Milan's reputation is at an all-time high. Politecnico is an attractive, large, open laboratory in the heart of Milan, featuring the innovative study programs needed to prepare for new professions and to face new challenges. The research and experimentation of today will illuminate tomorrow. We need creativity and intuition. This is a great opportunity. The challenges that lie before us are tough. Now's the time to take our destiny into our own hands, to seize the day, to pioneer the change. We must stay switched on. There's a need for transformation that cannot be overlooked.
Welcome to this webinar. They already saw a great introduction of Politecnico di Milano, and it might be you studying there next year, who knows. At least you joined in to hear more about the programs they have on offer about engineering, design or architecture. And we're going to hear more about this program in the next 40 minutes or so. Before we go over to Milan, let me briefly explain to you some of the options that we have to make it as interactive as possible. My name is Luc Mulling, and I'm the moderator of today. And as mentioned, the interactive options. First of all, we have the option to chat. Simply, you can already tell us where you're logging in from. So let us know if you if in the chat to tell us where you're logging in from, so we can already see a little bit of the diversity of the countries. More importantly as well, the questions, you can write them at any time. Do that please through the panel called questions at the bottom. There you can write them at any time, and we will be answering the questions at the end. Now, for people that are watching the recording, you can still also write the questions. We can, of course, not answer them live, but we will be able to send them through to the staff of Politecnico di Milano. Also, I will be opening up a couple of pollings, so that we'll see throughout the session later on. And last but not least, we have a little fun button as well. You can react. So at the bottom of the screen, you see button react. And there, if you click on it, it gives exactly one of those options. We like to get those. So let us know if you like something or you want to react and interact with us. Anyway, without further ado, let's go over to Milan, where we have the staff member Chiara Mambretti with a student, Irene. So they will introduce themselves. And go ahead, and good luck all with the session.
Thank you very much, Luke, and welcome everybody to today's presentation. My name is Chiara, and I work in International Recruitment Office of Politecnico di Milano. And I'm currently in Milan. And I'm really happy to be today here with Irene, who is a student at Politecnico di Milano. I will let her introduce herself to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Irene and I'm here in Milan for 2 years. And I'm a student in space engineering, and I'm really happy to be here sharing my experience with you.
So yeah, that's great, because I think students always really like to learn and to listen to other students' experience. So I will give a lot of floor to Irene to share more with you and to let you know how it is to be a student at Politecnico di Milano from her point of view. But before we do that, we just give a little bit of introduction about the university, so you're all ready to know about Politecnico. So let's start with the presentation. Politecnico di Milano is a technical university, so I guess all you guys coming from Russia, Uzbekistan, Czech Republic, I see, and someone even from the US, you might be interested in design, architecture, or engineering if you are listening to us today. The university was established in 1963, and is still really active, offering new programs every year, and it is located and based in the city of Milan. As you can see from the map there, Milan is really well located in the center of Europe. So from here, you can definitely discover Europe, travel a lot to other European countries, by plane, by train, by car. Of course, you can discover the beauties of Italy very easily by traveling south, east, west, wherever you want in Italy. There are 3 airports, several train stations, and it's really easy to go around Europe to discover beautiful places. At the same time, Milan offers a lot to you, and I think Irene might also share something about this from a student's point of view. So let us know if you like it here.
Yeah, I really like Milan because I come from Madrid, which is also a big city, but here in Milan, it's a big city, but everything is close and well connected. So in half an hour, you can go everywhere, and it offers a wide variety of things for everyone, depending on what you like. Like there are a lot of museums, and a lot of activities. For example, this week there is the design week, and there are a lot of things that can be done in the outside. As Chiara said, another thing good about Milan is that it is really good connected with Italy and with the rest of Europe. And I have done a lot of travels because of that. Yeah, that's a huge opportunity when you are here in Milan, because it's also quite cheap I'd say, to travel from here.
Yeah, it's true. And also, as Irene was saying, the city actually at the moment is packed with people, tourists, with people interested in design, because we are in the middle of the Politecnico, and which is of course focused on design, but also offers a lot of things even to people which are not into that topic specifically. And I must say that Milan is something week every week. So you can have the fashion week, the wine week, the food week. So it's really lively and interesting as a city, of course. But what I need to add to this is that we offer programs not only in Milan, but also in other locations, on other campuses, which are based in other cities not far from Milan. So I see a lot of people come from very big countries like Russia, US, Uzbekistan. Well, Italy is not so big as your countries are, and Lombardia, where the region where the Politecnico di Milano is based, is quite small compared to the dimensions of your countries. So let's say if you go from Milan to Mantova by train, it's about 1 hour and a half. And those cities are smaller, but really very beautiful and interesting. And the interesting thing is also that the program we offer there are linked to the territory. So there is always a reason why a specific program is offered on a specific campus. And you will discover more, of course, online by browsing our programs and the locations. Going on to the description of Politecnico di Milano, what I need to stress and of course to focus on is the mission of the university. So of course we have Irene here, she's a student, and we have a lot of international students also enrolled at the university. What we offer them is of course a high level education, but also an atmosphere of research. So as Irene might also know, the professors are involved in research, in high-level research. And so we are the first university in Italy for projects funded by the European Commission. And so even if you're not involved in research yourself as a student, as a bachelor or master student, anyway, you breathe it. So you know the professors are always like advanced in their topic, and they can teach you. They work in the lab we have on campus and so on. So I think that's something you can also confirm.
Yeah, like for example, in my field, that is space engineering, all my professors are related somehow with ESA, which is the European Space Agency, which you feel it because everyone is developing their missions with them. And for example, yesterday there was this launch from a Starship of Elon Musk, and it was incredible because two of my professors did a program in the Italian TV to show people how the field and how Politecnico is involved in these things. So you feel the atmosphere that the professors are really involved in huge things.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I didn't know about that, about the professors being on TV, but that something happens because professors who are work at Politecnico and teach at Politecnico at the same time are doing research, or they're active in some other aspect of their professional life. So this is a very important aspect you might consider when you apply to an international, to a university for your master or PhD degree. Of course, research is a mission for us, but going on, it's also important to have an international atmosphere on campus. So we do have a lot of Italian students, of course, enrolled here. We have almost 50,000 students enrolled, and about 7,000 are international students, a majority of which are currently studying at master level, like Irene. So that's possible because we teach in English. So the majority of the programs we teach here are taught in English, and so you don't need to know Italian when you come here. And of course, you can exchange your expertise with other students from really all over the world, like friends and so on. What we give you is also the opportunity to study Italian here. So even if you come here without knowing Italian, you can definitely study in English on campus, live without any problem on campus, knowing only English and your mother tongue. At the same time, we would love you to know Italian before you graduate. And so we offer you the opportunity to study Italian here for free and get a certain level before you graduate. That will make it easier for you to, of course, to make friends, but also to apply for jobs in Italy or in Italian companies, or in any way to have an additional skill to your curriculum. I confirm that Irene knows Italian super well. So definitely. So I just leave you the opportunity to talk about the program, the courses.
So during the first semester, I had to follow the Italian course because it is mandatory for students that are studying here the master degree. And I have to say that it gave me the basics for trying to understand people, going to do the shopping, and more or less to understand. But then I felt that here it is good to know Italian, to make friends, to feel more comfortable, because even though Milan is a very international city, if you learn Italian, that eases the process. So I did a second course in Italian also with the university, and there I tried to become more fluent, and also because I'm Spanish, it's really easy for me to learn Italian, and then making friends at university and with my flatmates and so on. I started speaking Italian, and now I can say that I'm pretty fluent and I can understand and make myself understood in Italian. So
Yeah,
I really like that.
I confirm so. I really talk to Irene in Italian, and like I talk to my colleagues who are Italian. So of course, coming from a Spanish background definitely might be easier than if you were from different nationality, but still a lot of students coming from all around the world learn Italian here, at least the basics of Italian. So that's something we really focus on, and would love you to learn. But yes, that's not the focus of studying at Politecnico di Milano. Going back to the presentation, yeah, I of course need to talk about the programs because that's why you're here, to know which are the programs we offer and how's education in Italy. Well, we of course have bachelor degrees, but today we focus on the master programs, which last 2 years at Politecnico di Milano and in Italy in general. We offer programs in architecture, as you can see, in different fields of architecture and in design. Also double degrees like that, design and engineering, which is a program between the School of Design and School of Engineering. And if you have queries about the programs, if you want to know the details, you can get in contact also with the students who are currently enrolled in the programs by booking an appointment through the Ask a Student project. And Irene is part of this project as well. So you can also ask her more about her experience. And the same is valid for the engineering programs, which are a lot, and you will see it in the next slide. And they really cover a lot of areas of engineering, from agriculture to civil to nuclear to management and so on, and also to space, which is the specialty of of Irene, and who maybe would like to share something about her program.
Yes, so maybe you are asking why I chose Politecnico di Milano, because you're right now trying to choose also what to do with your life. And I really chose it because it's one of the best engineering schools here in Europe, and I didn't want to stay in Madrid since I didn't like the master. And it also convinced me a lot because it provides a huge variety of courses in which you can specialize yourself in different tracks. And also because I already knew that some professors here were like these huge personalities in the world of space, as I said before, they even go to TV. And so that really pushed me to making this decision, which I definitely don't regret because I learned a lot. If you want to know more about this space engineering program, you can contact me on the Ask a Student.
Yeah, Irene is available for sure if you want to know more about that specific program. But yes, in general, what Irene said is important because you can select a program, you can apply to the program, and then when you're admitted, you pick a track. So there are really different curricula tracks you can apply, you can take basically during your studies, and you can specialize on a specific aspect of that program. And I cannot describe all the programs, so I really invite you to go on the website and know more, but also we will send you emails, follow-up email with the link direct to the program list. So, if you're wondering how to apply, well, the admission application is quite easy, so you just first have to check the requirements. So basically, the most important aspect is to know that you must have a bachelor degree in a field related to the Master of Science you select. So just easily speaking, if you study psychology now, you have no way to apply to a Master at Politecnico di Milano because they are technical programs. And the second requirement is English knowledge. So you will have to upload an English language certificate, or if you're studying in English now, a English language proof when you apply. So these are the main requirements. Then there are some other specific country-specific requirements you can check on the website, but these are the general ones. Once you understand you have the requirements, you can apply. You register on our website, select the programs, meaning that you can apply up to 2 programs when you apply, and then you upload the required documents. I will show you in the next slide. The final step, once you have all the documents with you and you uploaded all of them, is to pay a 50 euros non-refundable fee. Once we get the fee, we start evaluation of your application. The documents we ask you to upload are divided between mandatory and optional. The mandatory documents are the academic documents, basically, so your degree and the transcripts in original language and in translation, unless they are issued directly in English by your university, your CV, a portfolio if you study architecture and design, and again, the language proof, English language proof. In addition to these documents, you might, if you want, upload the GRE, a letter of motivation, letter of recommendation, and a course description. Just check the requirements on the website. Make sure you have all the documents with you when you apply. There is an additional document, which is the GPA statement, which is required if your GPA is not stated on the transcript. But please, this is just a presentation of the university, so for the details, you really need to check on the website. And also for the deadlines, but just to let you know, there is an application which is open now for September intake, and it closes on May the 15th. This is for European students. Non-European students will have different deadlines. You can, if you're interested in engineering, you can apply from May to July. It will start in February. Otherwise, you will have to wait 1 year, so you can apply from September of this year to enter the following September 2024. Okay. The application fee, sorry, the tuition fees for the scholarships, for the programs, depend on your nationality, meaning that if you come from outside of Europe, you're a non-European student, the cost is 3,900 euros per year. While if you're a European student, we will evaluate the tuition fees according to your income or your family income, minimum 900 euros, maximum 3,900 euros per year. On the top of these, on the top of the fact that these are the fees for a top university, and as Irene said, well, the professors are also involved in high-level research and professional activities at high level. Well, we also offer scholarships for talented students, which are merit-based, on covering tuition fees and giving you some pocket money, and also are linked and partner with some other scholarships which you have to apply for, offered by the Italian government. And also, of course, you can apply. You can check on the website of your local government and Ministry of Education to see if there are other scholarships available for you. But again, if you don't get a scholarship, the tuition fees are maximum 3,900 euros per year. Yeah, I like those thumbs up. Perfect. And okay, we go on with some other interesting aspects of life. Thank you for sharing the link to the application process, and we can go on with the slide. So we focus on some other interesting and the fun part after all these very administrative aspects. And before that, I think my colleague Luke will send you a poll to understand what you are interested in, what you expect from your experience at Politecnico di Milano, possible experience at Politecnico di Milano. And in the meanwhile, I would love Irene to let us know how's her life as a student here.
Yeah, so following a bit what is written in this slide, when I first came here, the first week I went to the welcome activities, which I hugely recommend it to you, because that is where I made my group of friends, my actual group of friends. Because everyone is there looking for friends. We all come alone and we don't know anyone. And this is a first time to meet and also to learn more things about the university and the admission, not the admission, but the documents that you have to provide and what you have to do once you are here in Italy. And then going on with the semester, I had also a buddy, which helped me during the very first months to know a bit more about the university and how the student life is here in Milan. And yeah, that was really good. And last year, when I was more acquainted with the life here, I decided to join two associations. Because I play the violoncello, so I joined the Polifonia, which is the music association, because I would say that there are two types of students associations here. The ones that help you to go on with your hobbies, and the ones that help you to focus more on your study courses. And I also are part of Polyspace, which is the space association here in Politecnico. And yeah, this really helps you to meet people with your same interests and also develop your hobbies and your career. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I always somehow envy the energies of students because I mean, you study space engineering, and in addition to that, you are part of an association that you go with your hobbies. So it's really chapeau, I would say. And it's something a lot of students do here, and we try to make it possible for them. So really, we really try to organize the welcome event in the best way possible, so they can make friends, they can understand how it works here. They start their they go through the first steps to settle in Milan or in Italy in general. And as Irene said, we try to put them in contact with a buddy before they arrive. It's something very interesting because you can ask your questions to a person who's currently at Politecnico di Milano and studying here. And then, of course, you can go on with your sport activities, your passion, and attend visit museums, theaters, and so on at the discount price because students do get this. And again, study Italian, foreign languages, develop your soft skills as well, because we have some online courses and in-person courses for developing the soft skills, and so on. So your life here would be quite intense if you decide to come to Politecnico. And of course, so sport is a focus aspect for Politecnico Milano. We have a strong connection with the territory, with Milan, Lecco, the other cities, and we organize this run, this race through the city. And it's another beautiful way to know people, and of course to know the city, to see it in a different way. But when we talk about students' life, we also need to say that at a certain point it ends. Sorry, unfortunately, or at least it's a different way of studying. So we also try not to abandon the students when they graduate. So we have a career service, which is an office inside the university, which organizes fairs, workshops, focus on different aspects of different topics and subjects. They do support the students who want to apply to specific jobs. Of course, they publish new job opportunities on the website and help the students in finding a good job in their field. The statistics are quite good, as you can see here, and also a lot of students decide to stay here in Italy for their first job, then maybe they travel, they go back to their countries, or after the graduation they go back to their countries with this expertise they got to Politecnico di Milano. But yeah, the statistics are super nice, and I would suggest you to go to scan the QR and know more about the specific program you're interested in to have a whole view of how it works. There are also some other students. I'm sorry, you wanted to say something. Sorry. There are also some other students who decide to go on with their academic career. So those who want to stay to be students for longer, let's say. And yeah, for the next slide, they decide to apply for a PhD program. We do have a lot of PhD programs at Politecnico di Milano. The list is here. It's of course also on the website. These programs last 3 years, and they're taught in English. And of course, they give you the opportunity to work on your research project initially, and for a certain period of time also abroad. So when you graduate or before graduating, you can apply to a PhD program and then go on with this, be a researcher, become, of course, obtain a PhD level at Politecnico di Milano. And last but not least, there is another part of students who decide to become entrepreneurs, or anyway, just to work on their project. They had an idea and they want to work to create a startup or work on a specific project, and they can submit this idea to the Poly Hub, which is the innovation district of Politecnico di Milano, and of course get funds or get help for developing it. So let's say we really care about you since the beginning, even before you arrive at Politecnico di Milano, like today. We try to give you the best information before you arrive, and then we support you throughout the career and of course after you graduate. And that's why also Politecnico di Milano is considered one of the best universities in the world in the technical fields. It's a first in Italy, and you can see among the best 20 in the world in the fields we offer. We are members of very important leagues and networks of universities, technical universities in Europe and abroad, which means that students can also, of course, go abroad for exchange, but also obtain that kind of atmosphere we were talking about before. So professors are always connected to professors who are abroad, who work on different projects and in other environments, and this also brings a lot, it gives a lot to the students who are studying at Politecnico di Milano. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. I just leave for to Irene to know if you want to add something to tell the students about your Politecnico.
About what Chiara said, the university being connected, I just want to make an example of this. Like, for example, I have a lot of friends that are doing their thesis abroad because some of their professors connected them with another universities. So that is really a good opportunity if you also want to develop your research abroad. Yeah, I don't have to add anything about it.
Okay. Yeah, you shared a lot. I think the students appreciate your point of view and how you make interesting your life at Politecnico di Milano. I leave you the contact, so you can of course find the information on the website, get in contact with us through the inquiry form, know more about us on social media, and again talk to current students of Politecnico di Milano about the program, about the life here, about anything you want to know from a student who's currently enrolled at Politecnico di Milano. So I really thank you for your attention, and we are ready for your questions.
Great. Yes, that's where I will come back in. And we already received several questions, so I'm going to read them out. And just to remind everyone, if you're watching this live, of course, we can answer them live right now, so do take advantage. If you're watching the recording, which I know a lot of people do these days, then you can still write your questions. Of course, we cannot answer them now, but we will send them through to the staff. So just to let you know. And also thanks everyone already for the input in the polling, and also still to know about any other parts you'd like to know more about. So there was a question about the experience of Polyme. What are you curious about? So let us know in the chat. Anyway, meanwhile, let's go and start with some questions we received. Mary was wondering, can I study this also online?
No. The programs are offered here on campus. I mean, there was a time when, unfortunately, we had to offer the programs online, but no, the presence here is a very key factor for studying at master level and at any level at Politecnico di Milano. We do offer MOOCs online. They are open also to students who are not from Politecnico di Milano, but the programs are here.
Okay, great, thank you. Question from Mauro. Well, that was before you presented this, I think, but you needed the information about payments and places to stay. So, of course, you already gave some information about that. I don't know if there's anything to add.
Yeah, of course. You can repeat the information. The cost depends on where you come from. So if you're from Europe, the cost is, depends on your on your family income. So minimum 900 euros per year, maximum 3,900 per year. Yes, thank you. While if you're a non-European student, the fee are 3,900 euros per year. Concerning accommodation, I think that was part of the question. Well, we do have some residencies, and students can book a room or a bed in the residencies, but it's not for everyone. So we don't have enough rooms for all the students. So we, of course, we have some partnership with other residencies, with private agencies, and you can find that on the website of Politecnico di Milano. What I want to say is that once you're admitted and you decide to come to Milan, just look for a place. I think yes, it's an important thing. I don't know about your experience from this point of view.
Yeah, I just want to say that it is really hard to find an apartment here. So as soon as you're admitted, please start looking for it.
Yeah. That's something we say. I mean, it's difficult because just because if you wait until the end, the very end, it's really hard to find an affordable place. But if you are ready, I mean, we tell you to look for a place, and we will find a place and a solution for sure.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on with the next questions. Joseph was asking, do you offer help with fees for EU students? Well, I think you also just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something, or is that taken care of?
Well, if we offer, what was the question?
So he's from the EU, so he was asking about the help with the fees. I think you mentioned
Help meaning scholarship.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, we do have some scholarships, which are tuition fee waivers or tuition fee waivers plus pocket money. You can see the structure here on the slide and, of course, on the website. Again, these are like there is a percentage of students who get a scholarship, not all the students. But again, if you are from Europe and you don't have a high income, your fees will be quite low, quite affordable, minimum 900 and even less. If you don't have an income, let's say, you can come here for free, basically. But the minimum you pay if you're in a normal situation is 900 euros per year, which is definitely, I think, a good solution for a university of our level.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, there was a question actually in the chat about the merit-based scholarship, so maybe we can take that. So the requirement to apply.
Okay, for the merit-based scholarship, there's no need to apply separately. So let's say you apply for the program, the professors will evaluate your application and decide if you can get a scholarship or not. So there's no separated application for that.
Okay. So I think there was Selma. Let us know if we answered your question.
Yeah, the requirements, meaning the criteria for obtaining a scholarship are, again, merit-based. So they will look at your GPA, your academic path, at your portfolio if you're applying for architecture and design. All this information, all these elements will be taken into consideration.
Okay. Great, thank you. Lonnie is asking, what are the exact requirements that need to be fulfilled for applying to the Master of Architecture?
The first and necessary requirement is to be graduated at bachelor level in architecture. So that's a minimum requirement. Then there are other requirements related to the place where you graduated. So there might be a minimum GPA requirement, but yeah, that's an information you can grab online. because I don't know where you're from. But in general, you need to have a background in architecture to enter an architecture program. Then there are other programs which are related to architecture and offered in the field of architecture, which are open to different backgrounds. So, for example, if I talk about urban planning, policy design, or landscape architecture, those are open also to other backgrounds. You might be, I don't know, coming from geography or social sciences, and you can still apply to these specific programs. But if you're looking for architecture, specifically architecture programs, there's no way to enter if you don't have a background and the bachelor degree in architecture already.
Okay. Thank you. Hope that helped you, Loni. Otherwise, let us know. Next question from Sergey, asking, what can you recommend to an ESL teacher? Do you have a possible master program suitable for me?
Sorry, I didn't hear you well. I'm sorry.
The ESL teacher.
ESL?
He has a background. And
like
ESL.
Sign language?
Think so. It must be. Sergey,
Sorry.
if you
If you
let
can,
us know,
I think it's
maybe in the chat.
Sign language.
So yeah, I guess what programs? Well, the programs were shown on the screen: design, architecture, engineering. So those are the main fields of study. But let us know maybe a bit more in detail what you're looking for.
Yeah, I can add something if it's that the question. Sorry, I hope if that's the question. Okay, English is a second language. I'm sorry, I was thinking about sign language.
Yeah.
Well, English as a second language is not among the topics we offer. So we have architecture design and engineering programs, and nothing related to humanities or similar, unfortunately. But if I can go back to the question, which is not your question, but we do have also support for students who have specific needs. So in case you have anything related to, for example, if you need the sign language here, you can access to this kind of services as well, as well as other supports, psychological support, and so on. So that's to say we really focus on the student and we try to give the services, the best service to them, even if we are a big university. So we take care of about 50,000 students at the moment.
Okay, great, good to hear. Thank you. Mauro has a question, and well, I actually follow up on the housing. He's asking, is it easier to find housing in another campus than Milan?
Yes, it's definitely easier. Yeah, the other campuses are located in smaller cities. So from a side, there are less residencies and of course less rooms, but at the same time there are less students, so it's easier to find and it's cheaper. That's for sure. But yeah, it really depends on your interest. So you select the program first and then the location. It's also possible to live not far from Milan, not in Milan, but not far from Milan, and commute every day by train, or the underground, and the rent in the surroundings of Milan is cheaper for sure than in the city. And that's something people do a lot. So I mean, my family, my dad did that all his life, all his working life, commuting every day from another city, not far from Milan. So it's definitely possible.
Great, thank you. We're getting the thumbs up, so that's, I guess, taking care of that. Good to see. Another question from Abraham. If I say that right, I'm attending another scholarship in Budapest. Am I eligible for applying for a scholarship for the coming year at Politecnico di Milano, which is for a master in architecture?
Yeah, sorry, I missed the first part of the question.
So he has another scholarship in Budapest, so I guess asking if he can apply also for a scholarship with you.
Well, yeah, it depends again. It depends on the quality of your application. So that's not on us. If you already have a scholarship there, it's not granted you get a scholarship at Politecnico. But I guess if you obtained a merit-based scholarship, it means that you are a high-level student. So there's a good chance you can get a scholarship here.
Okay. Again, a thumbs up. Good. Question from Wanda. I saw that it's possible to apply even if we still didn't get a bachelor degree, but we're in the last year of it. And will I get a diploma before the start of the master program? Is that right, that they can apply if they don't have the bachelor yet?
That's definitely correct. You can apply even when you are at the last during your last year of bachelor degree. There's no problem at all. A lot of students do this just to not miss a year. And in that case, you will not, of course, will not have your degree to upload on your profile, but you can just upload the document attesting you are at last year of your studies.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. And I think those were the questions we've received so far. Again, thumbs up. Good to see that. Just checking the chat because there were a couple of people. Yeah, okay, that's a good question from Beck. And maybe we can take that question. How much money per month is needed to live in Italy, or I guess in Milan? In specific, maybe good to know. So can you tell us a bit more about that? And also maybe Irene can give us
Yeah, so living here in Milan, you have to account for around 500, 600 for accommodation. And then, I don't know, 200, 300 to do the buy food and also go out. But it really depends on what you do and how you live your life here in Milan.
But yeah, the thing is that the rent is expensive. Like it's 500 euros, 600 euros, depends. It might be less if you share a room. So if you're two in a room, it's of course you will pay less. But yeah, let's consider 500 euros. Then there are a lot of discounts for students. So even if you go out for, I don't know, for lunch here around the university, it's cheap. If you go to theater, museums and so on, you get discounts. So you can definitely do things, but not pay as much. And of course, I mean, the normal life is not so expensive. Then of course there are some fancy places, and if you go out for to the restaurants for dinner, it might be expensive unless you select normal places like very friendly but not so fancy places. So it really depends. But consider about 800 euros per month up to 1,000 in Milan. If you stay in a smaller town in another campus, of course, it's going to be less expensive.
Okay. Thank you. And we're going over next question from Beck. Do you also have 1-year master programs?
Well, we have like Politecnico di Milano also has a, let's say, private part which offers programs of 1 year long, more professional oriented, so on really specific topics. They're called specializing masters. So if you browse our website polimi.it, you will also find this program called specializing masters.
Okay. Hope that answered that question for you, Beck. So the link to the session, I will to the programs and also the especially the application process. I will put it once more on the screen in a minute. Let me see if there is another question. Let's take that first. Abraham is asking, could you provide us contact or email of the students, because you mentioned something about that, who can ask information during our application, and could you tell us about the scholarship? Well, the scholarship I think was answered, but the contact or email of students.
Well, they're like, we don't share the emails of the students, but you can contact the students through this project. So this way you can just go online, you choose the program you're interested in, you book your appointment with one of the current students of Politecnico, and you talk. Then if you want to, if he or she is willing to share his or her email address with you, of course, you can get in contact.
All right, and I can add something. We have an extra service just for after this webinar. We actually have a student community created for the people that joined us here. So there's a link in the chat where you can actually talk with other students, help each other. You saw that maybe there was people from a similar country as you. I saw some people from several people from the same country. So you can help each other. You might have the same challenges in terms of financial support, visa, finding an apartment. So we have this community for you to basically help each other out and network. We will also paste the recording there. So if you missed a part of this or want to revisit, you can also see it from there. Meanwhile, we have another question. So I think that was answered, Antonina, but is Italian required for studying?
No, Italian is not, I mean, unless you apply for Italian top programs, which are just a few here now, Italian is not a requirement because the programs are taught in English. While it is a requirement for graduating. So while you are here or during the 2 years of your master, we ask you to attend a course of Italian for free to get a level, like a basic, I would say, level of Italian for the reason I mentioned before. So just to integrate a little bit, to make friends, to be able to travel, and of course to make it easier to live in Italy during your stay. And Irene confirmed that she attended the courses on campus.
Okay. Another question meanwhile came in. Anna is asking, I've heard that all deadlines to apply are over for this year, for the fall 2023. Is it correct, or can I only apply in 1 year?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
So she's asking if the deadlines to apply are over for this year.
Okay, that depends on where you're from. If you come from outside of Europe, the deadlines for September are over. Yes, you can apply from May to July for entering February intake. That's only for engineering programs. So design and architecture don't affect students in the second semester in February intake. If you are interested in architecture and design, you have to wait until September. And from September to basically March, you will be able to apply for to enter in September 2024.
Okay.
So let's say if you're European, you can still apply now for September intake.
Okay. Thank you. I hope that answered that question for you, Anna. Otherwise, let us know. We do have a minute left to take any last questions. And yes, so we're getting already gratitude from Abraham for the time and consideration. So thank you very much for letting us know. We'd like to receive that. Thank you, as well as, of course, those thumbs up and emoticons. Thanks to all of you. Those are nice to receive. I just put the link from the application process again in the chat just to make sure. And unless we don't have another question, I actually have one last polling question for you. So let me just check that questions were answered. Yes, I think so. So let me open up the last polling question because we like to know how we did. You can grade us now. So basically, on my head, I pasted there. So let us know, how do you feel the session was? And just to get some feedback, if you want to give other feedback besides that, of course, you can also answer that in the chat. Let us know. Let us know how we did. And yes, with that, we're getting thank yous. Great, everyone, for you all to participate. From my side, I would like to thank, well, first of all the audience, people that joined in from different countries. I saw Russia, Czech Republic, US, Germany, Czech Republic, Malta, Cyprus. Well, a lot of different countries joining in, and of course the both of you, Irene and Chiara. Thanks a lot for your time and your presentation. Maybe last words over to you to wrap up the session.
Thank you so much for, of course, to all of you guys for being with us, and taking the time to be online with us. And it was very interesting, quite interesting, like intense as a moment. A lot of questions. We liked it. I want to thank Irene for sure. She's busy. She has a lot to study and a lot of classes to attend, but she took the time to be here today. So thank you very much.
Inviting me.
And look for your assistance and support, of course.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.